Hey, welcome to Live with Lynn. So if you're here, say hi. If you're watching the replay, be sure to type replay so I know you were here. I'm Lynn Huber, and I appreciate you being here today. So today I'm going to talk about life is filled with opportunities to learn and to grow. How do you view life and the opportunities that come your way? We're all a little different, right? But there's basically two ways of looking at life. Some people think that what happens in their lives is out of their control. These people have small goals. They wait passively for what life dishes out to them, and they usually hope for the best and that things will work out. And then there are others of us who realize that life is a great opportunity for learning and for reaching our fullest potentials. These people proactively try to understand how the world works and how they can make it work for them. They set goals and they learn all they can as they set out in the direction of their dreams. These people are usually the ones who find the success they're looking for because they pay attention to the lessons that life teaches them. Some of these lessons are learned the hard way. It's true, seriously, and some can be learned by watching what others are doing and learning from them. So life is full of lessons, right? Life has the remarkable ability to place us in situations that are familiar and unexpected pretty regularly. And this happens every single day and in small doses with the occasional monumental surprise that carries over into much longer periods of time, right? Although we don't have a choice of when life presents us with these events, and we don't necessarily have a choice of the events that come our way. Some are good, some are not good, but we are not completely at the mercy of them. How we choose to view these shifting circumstances is totally up to us. To be successful, we need to shift the perspective about how we view seemingly unfortunate events. We want to shift it from coming from a place of anger or panic or despair to that realization that change and mistakes are crucial to our growth and our improvement. And in order to lead a fulfilling existence, we need to harness the ability to experience valuable learning opportunities in the lows and the dark times, as well as in the good ones. So let's talk about learning from the lessons that are presented by the greatest teacher of them all, life. So when planning out your path, whether scheduling day-to-day routines or looking 10 years down the road, it's perfectly okay to have in mind the way things ought to go. Of course you should, right? That's your plan. That's what you want to happen. In fact, doing so is a great way to set goals for yourself and provide concrete steps to reach them. We always need a plan of where we want to go and how we're going to get there. But always be certain to plan for the inevitable potholes and construction and traffic jams that you're for sure going to encounter along your path. Make sure that your concept of how things will happen is flexible enough to manage abrupt changes in plans, because it's going to happen, right? In fact, the one thing that really dictates just how well you are learning from life's lessons is whether or not you're able to change course and still be headed towards your goals. Still be headed towards that desired destination. Overanalysis is paralysis. Make no mistake, right? Taking the time to consider all of the variables and consequences of one choice or a decision of another over another is wise. You should do that, right? Flying through life with reckless abandon is a surefire way to fall short of any goal or achievement that you hope to attain. But there is a difference between good judgment and worried obsession. I know you're totally aware of this already, but life waits for no one, right? Time is going to continually march to the beat of its own drum, whether we're in sync with it or not. And many times, some of the best opportunities presented require us quick decision-making and courage. I just went through this just over the last couple of days. I was having major problems with my web hosting provider. My websites were so slow, so incredibly slow, that slowness was hurting my online business. When people go to a website, they expect it to load, at least within a couple of seconds, and they're not going to wait around, right? If it doesn't load, if it takes 10 seconds to load, they're gone, right? And I have been arguing with my web host over the phone for months. They keep telling me that it was my fault, that my website wasn't optimized, or that I wasn't doing it right. And finally, and I kept trying the things that they suggested, but nothing changed, right? And finally, I decided to move to a new provider. And so in the scheme of moving your entire website, this is a huge decision, and I was terrified. I mean, what if I chose the wrong one? What if I went through all of that and changed over to a new one and nothing changed? What if it really was my fault? You know? So I literally spent 2 days researching and worrying and not sleeping. And then finally, I made a decision, accepted that it was the best decision I could make, and I would live with the consequences, or I would deal with them if I had to, right? But I felt pretty good. I mean, I did my research. I did, I didn't sleep because my brain never shut off for those couple of days. But I finally made that switch yesterday. And so I moved my websites. And yes, although I'm still going to have to go through some issues and changes and a learning curve for sure, I'm incredibly happy that I did it. Right? Oh my gosh, it's such a change. All these things, this website, the host said it was all my fault, but I changed to a new service and boom, my site loads in 2 seconds, right? So it's okay to spend the time to research and analyze and all that, but don't let it drag on, right? So if you find yourself obsessively pondering every minor decision that you're required to make, you're going to miss out on some really great things. This middle ground between recklessness and overly cautious is different for everyone. So you need to find yours and maintain it. Find out what works for you between reckless and overly cautious, somewhere in the middle, right? And then be skeptical of shortcuts. How many times have you achieved something that you're truly proud of without having to invest a significant amount of time and effort into pursuing it? Right? Virtually every respectable goal or destination in life is not going to be obtained just through haphazard persistence, right? You got to put the work in, right? And life can be quite the temptress at times. And on your journey, you're going to encounter various get-rich schemes, and monetarily and otherwise, that are going to promise marginal gain with minimal effort, right? And I'm not talking about legitimate systems here. I mean, sometimes we systemize parts of our business to free us up to be doing the things that we personally need to do, right? The systems work with us to complete the whole of it so that will get us closer to our goal, right? It's the system combined with our effort gets us there, gets us closer to our goal. And where systems become a problem, or where, shortcuts or whatever, but systems themselves, where they become a problem is when you assume that because you have a system in place to do certain things for you, that you can relax, let the system do all the work and not do anything else. It doesn't work that way. Your system is there to work with you. And if you put a system into place, that's great, because that's going to help you achieve your goals. But don't just put a system in and say, okay, I'm done. I'm going to lay back and wait for success. It doesn't work, right? So one of the greatest lessons to be learned in your pursuit is the ability to discern false promises of success from sound methods of reaching your goals. Nothing worth having comes easy. So the learning process never ends. No matter how old we are, our learning process never ends. We just keep learning, right? From the time we're born to the end of our life, we're constantly exposed to potential lessons in every avenue of our life, right? So make sure that you maintain a lifelong student in your personal journey. Be there to learn, be there to grow, because it's that growth that's going to make it happen. It's going to help you get where you want to go. So, hey, now I'd love to hear from you. How about you? What are your thoughts on the lessons that we learn every day? What kinds of things do you do to keep your mind open for growth? Please share your thoughts with us in the comments below. I would love to hear your stories. And I don't see anybody live, but that's okay. It could be my software, or it could be that I'm just not here at a good time. So if you are here and I just haven't seen you, thank you for being here. And if you're watching the replay, thank you. I appreciate you. So go out there, have an amazing day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.